Welcome to Choose Your... Oh, fuck. Welcome to Turn to Your Doom, a podcast where we meet the many ends after following the many paths of the many Choose Your Own Adventure books we read. Today we're going to be reading The Magic of the Unicorn, and with me is someone who's real cold right now. Art.
It's cold. The heat, apparently, according to my building manager, our heater's been a little over. The heater for the building, has been a little overworked, and it's being fixed right now.
Oh, so it's
and they
cold.
said the word soon, which I can't read that on a clock. When is that?
I know. I never believe anybody when they say something's going to be fixed soon.
No. It's give me a actual segment of time that I can rely on, please.
The heating at my work went out last year. Around this time, actually, in January, and yeah, they kept saying, oh, it's gonna get fixed soon, it's gonna get fixed soon. It was 3 weeks before it was finally fixed.
Yeah.
I was like, it's so fucking cold, you can't do this to me.
Yeah, my fingies are cold.
Oh. But yeah, we're gonna be reading The Magic of the Unicorn, which is part of a 4-book series, which is, I don't know, there's a couple books with sequels, but I don't think it's very common in Choose Your Own Adventures.
Yeah, I am gonna be, definitely getting the, Space Vampire, all of those.
Ooh. I know, there's Cave of Time, and then there's Return to the Cave of Time. The newer ones, which we have that we'll read eventually, Time Travelin' and Time Travelin' 2, and then but I don't think I've ever seen one where there's been three sequels that it was good enough for that. So I'm pretty excited. How many Space Vampire books are there?
There's a few. Oh, look. This.
Oh, I think the ninja books are all related. Secret of the Ninja, The Last Ninja, and Return of the Ninja, I think, are all the same series.
I think there's
Ooh.
There's Vampire Invaders. I'd have to look at the list.
Yeah, it's kind of hard too because some of those sequel books haven't been republished. Return to the Cave of Time has not been republished yet.
Yeah.
Last time, the edition I have is from the U Ventures era, which I see why that reboot didn't last.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Bad name. Hard to say.
Yeah, also not great art. Just not great branding, really, all over.
I feel they should go back to the hand. Well, I mean, I know the new covers, they have to be also hand illustrated and stuff like that, but I feel like they should go more for the lithographic type covers.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I don't know. They started going a little bit more digital during the 90s, and that doesn't have the same look.
Yeah, that's true. That old school kind of 70s and 80s kind of painted sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I feel like I keep on saying stuff that will that feels very reject modernity, reject modernity, embrace tradition type stuff, but I don't know. I like it when stuff looks hand drawn sometimes.
Yeah.
Or hand painted.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to say the illustrations for Murder at the Old Willowbrook Boarding School, all that I believe was watercolors.
Yeah.
Just from looking at them. But yeah, I like the lithographs. I always love a classic sci-fi painted cover.
Yeah, I'm a big. Some would say that I'm a slut for sci-fi hand painted stuff.
That's why I loved Mandy.
Yeah, I really like just pulpy stuff in the first place though.
Oh heck yeah!
But not orange juice.
I get that. I
Yeah.
understand. I don't like pulpy orange juice either.
I don't understand why people like it. Why do people order extra pulp? I mean,
why do you want chunks in your orange juice?
It's the same reason why I feel like people who like chunky peanut butter just likes unfinished products. Because I'm there for peanut butter, not peanuts, you know?
Yeah, like I can get crunchy peanut butter if you want that texture, but like in a drink, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, it makes no sense at all.
Why do you want texture in your drink?
Yeah, I want as little texture as possible.
Yeah,
in my juices, unless I'm specifically going for a smoothie. If I go for a smoothie, I want texture. If I'm going for a juice, I don't really want texture. But yeah.
First thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning, I just want to get some pulp stuck in my teeth.
That too. All right, shall we get started on this new adventure?
Yeah.
All right. The summer of 1507 is exceptionally dry throughout Flanders. Fires scorch the forest, crops wither, and animals collapse from thirst. Nowhere...
Oh, you didn't say who wrote it, or...
Oh, sorry. Yeah, The Magic of the Unicorn. This is written by Deborah Lerme? It's Lerme. Lerme? Deborah Lerme Goodman. And she wrote the 3 other books as well in the series.
Yeah,
so yeah,
this is whole ass series.
We got a lady writer, which means that this could be good, because all the other ones we've read from lady writers have been really good.
Yeah, not to say that like Edward Packard and R.A. Montgomery can't write a good book.
Yeah,
it's just like
their track record in this podcast have not been great.
it's shaky. Let's say that.
Yeah, it's not their fault. Honestly, Cave of Time was the very first Choose Your Own Adventure book, so it's understandable that it wasn't perfect. It was pretty good, but yeah. I just really like Seaside Mystery. That was a very fun book.
Yeah.
Alright. The summer of 1507 is exceptionally dry throughout Flanders. Fires scorch the forests, crops wither, and animals collapse from thirst. Nowhere is the drought as severe as your own small village. Just last week, when you went to check the dwindling water supply, you discovered a dead rat floating in the well, upon which everyone depended. Since then, the water has been foul and tainted. The barrels of rainwater are nearly empty, and all attempts to dig a new well have yielded nothing but dry earth. It's like in Hagazusa, when she poisons the water supply with a dead rat. One morning, after weeding the field you inherited when your parents died 10 years ago, you pay a visit to Marie Claire. She's the oldest person in the village and one of your special friends. Some say this might be the last summer any of us live to see, you tell her sadly. None of the other villagers around has enough water to share with us, and it's hopeless to keep trying to dig a new well. I wish there was something I could do about it. Marie Claire looks up from her knitting. You could try to lure a unicorn to the well. Why, the touch of its horn purifies even poison. But Marie Claire, you exclaim, around here unicorns are rarer than the water. I bet it would be easier to find the sorceress than a unicorn. That's a good idea, she replies. I'm sure the sorceress knows all about unicorns. Why don't you look for her? But no one has seen her in years, you remind Marie Claire. The last person who tried to find her never returned. Ah, but you are 10 times smarter than anyone who has ever searched for the sorceress. If anyone can find her, it's you. I like how she just implies that the last person was just like some fucking idiot.
She's like, the last person who tried to find her was voted the most dumbest village idiot in all the tri-state area. He had to go through literally 200 other village idiots.
He really was the cream of the crop in terms of village idiots. It's a shame we lost him. Our town used to be famous for having the dumbest town idiot. Although you feel flattered, you are not sure you were really clever enough. Well, I'll give it a try. I wonder if I still remember the riddle describing the way to find the sorceress. Is this right? You take a deep breath and recite. Near a land reserved for woe, in a place that's high but low. Watch which way the bat doth go, find me there, and I will know. Perfect, says Marie Claire, as she hands you a glass pendant shaped like a raindrop. Put on my good luck talisman. Use it as you need it, my friend. You say goodbye to Marie Claire, then roam the parched fields. After pondering the riddle, you think of 2 places reserved for woe. The sorceress could mean the village graveyard, or the small camp outside the village where 2 men who suffer from leprosy live in gloomy isolation. If you decide to go to the leper camp, turn to page 8. If you head for the graveyard, turn to page 12.
You know, I'm feeling like a little sad, and that I need to express myself, which means I need to go to the cemetery to write poetry and sit in a tree. Because that's what goth people do.
Yes.
Sit in trees.
Yeah.
And write poetry in cemetery.
Yes, you're so right. I thought when you were like, go and express myself, that I was going to be like, at the leper camp. Put on a little play for those poor folks. Alright.
But yeah.
Even though the path to the graveyard is all downhill, you are hot and thirsty by the time you arrive there. You sit in the shade of a drooping tree to cool off. As you watch parched leaves float to the dusty ground, you consider the next line of the riddle, in a place that's high but low. What could be both high and low? Looking around, you notice the rolling slopes of the hills along the far side of the graveyard. They seem to be both high and low. But then the church bell rings, striking noon. Turning, you realize that the steeple of the church also fits the riddle. The church itself is in a low valley, but the steeple towers high above the village. If you walk over to the hills, turn to page 5. If you enter the church, turn to page 16.
Let's go to the church.
Yay, we're going to church.
We can maybe someone will give us one of those lowercase t necklaces I see.
What movie is that? Is that line from? Can I get one?
I don't.
I can't remember. Every time I hear it, though. When you go inside the church, Brother Michael looks up from his candelabrum he is polishing. I was just wishing for some company. What are you up to, my friend? I'm looking for the sorceress, you explain, your interpretation of the riddle. Brother Mitchell strokes his chin. I don't believe anyone has ever considered the graveyard or steeple when figuring out that riddle. So you may be on the right track. The next line of the riddle says to watch which way the bat goes, you tell him. Have you ever seen bats here? Plenty, he exclaims. At night they fly around the steeple. I've heard them go down in the cellar, too, although I never actually go there. I didn't know there was a cellar under the church. Oh, there's a crawl space there. But it's too small to be very useful, says Brother Mitchell. Not only that, but it's so infested with spiders that no one dare set foot in it. It would be a clever place for the sorceress to hide. If I had the courage, I'd look there. You are tempted to investigate the cellar, even though you don't like the idea of running into a web full of spiders. You also remind yourself that the riddle is a place that's high but low, and the cellar doesn't fit that description as well as the steeple does. If you want to explore the steeple, turn to page 10. If you think the cellar is a better choice, turn to page 19.
Let's go into the cellar.
Want to go hang out with some spiders?
Yeah. Let me make a little spider friend.
Some spiders. Okay. One moment. I use bookmarks to keep track of where the endings are and where they go. I'd like to explore the cellar, you tell Brother Mitchell. He smiles at you and says, Let me get you a lantern. Then I'll show you the way. He leads you to a far corner of the church, where he opens a heavy trapdoor. There are no stairs, he explains. Since the space is only about 3 feet high, you'll have to jump down and then crawl. Wish me luck, you say, as you lower yourself through the hole. When your feet reach the ground, Brother Mitchell hands you a lantern. You get down on your hands and knees and take a deep breath to calm yourself, and adjust the lantern. Only then do you see the spiders. Thousands, maybe millions of them are clustered on a dense veils of cobwebs and fill the entire space except for a narrow passageway. By the way, it says that you lower yourself down, but the illustration is you just, like, fucking jumping in.
Yeah, I mean, that is lowering yourself down. It doesn't say how quickly you're doing it.
All right. You shudder with fear, but force yourself to crawl through the tunnel. The lantern casts eerie shadows on the webs. Spiders scurry under your shins. Strangely enough, you think that you hear a faint sound of gurgling water. Just then, a bat swoops towards you. You flatten yourself to the ground and quickly cover your head with your hands. The bat soars over you, then flies straight through the wall of webs, creating a new tunnel. You shine the light of the lantern into the bat's passageway, but all you can see is blackness. You'd like to follow the bat to see if it leads you to the sorceress, but you also want to find out what's making that gurgling noise. If you continue down the tunnel you are in now, turn to page 39. If you decide to chase the bat, turn to page 80.
I mean, we have a chance of getting traumatized like that. And if our parents also die in front of us, we could become bat woman, I guess.
I like your thinking.
Yeah, it's just like how you need to stay close to a microwave so you can get the radiation.
Yeah.
So you can become the Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got, like, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen by itself. You have to force some stuff sometimes.
I'm sorry, I just remember the first time you told me about doing that. Okay.
Yeah, I've hurt myself so many times trying to get superpowers. It still hasn't worked.
Dang. If only. As you make your way through the narrow tunnel formed by the bat, you notice the passageway slopes deeper into the earth. The space becomes so small you have to slide slowly along on your stomach. After wriggling for what seems like half a mile, you know you must be far from the church. Suddenly, thick shrouds of cobwebs block the tunnel ahead. There isn't a trace of the bat. You cover your eyes with one arm and push through the webs with another. When you lower your arm from your face, you find yourself inches away from the most enormous spider you have ever seen. It is bigger than a rat. The giant spider springs on you. Forgetting the low ceiling, you forget everything except the 8 hairy legs clutching your shoulders and face. You bolt upright. Your head smashes against the earth above. Before you know what is happening, the ceiling collapses. Still locked in the spider's deadly grip, you are buried forever under tons of earth. That night, Brother Mitchell summons the courage to look for you, but his search yields no clues to your disappearance. The end.
Oh no. It's like I knew that wasn't ending.
That's a pretty fucked up way to die, I'm not gonna lie.
It is a pretty fucked up way to die, which is why you don't do that. You let people, you just don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't go through holes that it's hard to get through the first time. Cause
I know. I wouldn't have gone a half a mile. Like, well before that I would have been like, nope. And just scooch back.
Yeah. So like, okay. So I did do a fair amount of, like, spelunking, quote unquote, as a kid, because there's lots of, like, little caves here and there, because I live in Kentucky and it's kind of like one of the only things we have besides mountains in the east. But, like, there's a couple of rules. You don't go through holes that are hard to go through. You just don't.
No.
You don't go into the water.
Yeah.
And if like, you feel like you're going a little far, and, like, you make sure people know about what's going on, and you always, like, she broke some rules there.
Several. So, if we decide to instead follow the sound of gurgling, the sound of water becomes more distinct as you are so intent on following the sound that you barely notice the spiders or the dusty webs anymore. At last, the light of your lantern flashes brightly on a rushing underground stream. The water smells fresh, so you taste it. You shriek with delight, for the water is sweet and very cold. Your discovery of the stream saves your village. It runs directly under the trapdoor in the church, although it makes a peculiar well. Everyone is too happy to care. The end. That was a good ending. We didn't get buried alive.
I guess that's still pretty traumatic. I feel like I'd want people to focus on me a little bit longer. You know? like not like just like, wow, I did this thing and like it helped, I guess. In some way. But also like I almost lost my legs.
It's true. You did. Alright. So if we go all the way back, we had the choice of either exploring the steeple or going down into the cellar. We chose the cellar, so if instead we decide to go to the steeple, got to turn to page 10, we just fall off the roof. Just instantly. Well, you slip and fall because you're a stupid baby. The end.
I know one of the endings for this, and you're going to lose it when you read it.
I cannot wait.
There's a reason why I went to this one first, because I know this book already.
Oh, okay.
There's a reason why I decided to do the church first.
Oh my god.
So
okay.
I wanted to get you some like bangers in the front.
Alright, so if you decide to go to the steeple, will you help me climb up the steeple? You asked Brother Mitchell. I'll hoist you onto the rafters, but after that you're on your own, he says. I'm afraid to climb that high. You fucking baby. Don't you think God will save you? Or something?
Yeah, like, everyone's just like, oh, God will save me. God has his ways and stuff. And then, like, why aren't you doing more dangerous stuff? You're invincible, aren't you?
Yeah, maybe, brother, this is just a job to him. Like, somebody has to be the village priest, and he's like, it was me, I was picked. Brother Mitchell lifts you over his head and up toward the rafter. You grab the beam. After a few seconds of scrambling, you right yourself safely on the rafter. What are you going to do next? Asked Brother Mitchell nervously. You look around. See that rope dangling from the church bell? Would you please move it closer so I can grab a hold of it and climb all the way to the top of the steeple? He takes the bottom of the rope and carries it towards you. I can't bring it any closer, he says. I'll have to leap. Let's hope I can grab that rope, you tell him, with more confidence than you actually feel. Here it goes! Gotta turn to page 20. You hurl your body towards the rope and miraculously manage to grab it tightly. As you sway from side to side, the clanging of the bell is almost deafening. Oh no, wails Brother Mitchell. Now the whole village will come running to find out why the bell is ringing. Just wait till they see I've allowed you to climb all over the church. You pay no attention. A trapdoor by the base of the bell has swung open, releasing a frightened bat. It flutters anxiously around you, then swoops out the window below. What's behind the door up there? You ask Brother Mitchell. I have no idea was there, he replies. Then the next line of the riddle. Watch which way the bat doth go, springs into your mind. You think you should probably follow the bat out the window, but you're very curious about the trapdoor. If you begin climbing down to follow the bat, turn to page 51. If you wait a minute longer, find out what's behind the trapdoor, turn to page 73.
Let's follow that bat.
Let's follow that bat. It's bat time, baby. 51.
Yeah, we need to traumatize ourselves in some way.
It's the only way we could become a superhero.
We've already tried to get bitten by spiders purposely, and it doesn't work.
It didn't work. We just got buried alive. God damn it. That's not how you become a superhero. Alright, so page 51. Could you tell me which way that bat went? You climb down and ask Brother Mitchell as you climb down. He dashes out and hurries back. It's sitting on the ledge outside the window. You swing the rope towards the rafter and jump onto the beam. The bell clangs crazily. I'll distract the villagers so they don't scare the bat away. I'll distract the villagers so they don't scare the bat away, Brother Mitchell tells you. You thank him. I'm going to lower myself onto the windowsill, then I'll go out on the ledge, you say. Taking a deep breath, you step through the window onto the narrow wooden ledge. The sun-scorched wood feels hot on your bare feet. You flatten your back against the building and try to control the dizziness that threatens to overwhelm you. The bat cocks its head at you expectantly, then flutters further along the edge. You are terrified to take another step. You squeeze your eyes shut, conscious only of the blood pounding in your ears. I have to turn to page 58. You finally force yourself to open your eyes. The bat is still waiting. As As you edge toward it, an enormous splinter pierces your foot. Unbearable pain pulses up your leg, filling your entire body. Your leg jerks into the air and your arms fly out in a desperate attempt to steady yourself, but there is nothing to grab. You scream in horror as you plummet to the ground. When you regain consciousness, a crowd of villagers are gathered around you. "You're alive! Thank heaven!" cries Marie Claire. "Yes, but you've broken both your legs," says Brother Mitchell. "You know your search for the sorceress is over." God damn! You really fucked yourself up.
Yeah, it looked like you summoned the entire village to just jump off the steeple.
Watch you step on a giant splinter and fall off the church.
Yeah.
The whole village is like, her parents died like a couple years ago. Maybe this is her way of acting out.
Like, it's just like, because like either she needs to be the new village idiot or she needs therapy.
It's one or the other. Oh my god. Oh, stepping on a giant splinter too. It just makes me think of Ready or Not. There is a scene involving a rusty nail in that movie. It's very upsetting. Also a great movie if you like horror.
Yeah.
She really just fucked herself up in front of the whole village. Damn. Alright, so if we go the other way, we decide to find out what's behind the trap door. We gotta turn to page 73. There we go. "I'm going to see what's behind the trap door," you tell Brother Mitchell. "I'll keep the villagers outside so they won't distract you," he calls you. "Be careful." The bell rings loudly as you climb up the rope. At the top, you crawl through the opening into a small, dark compartment. The tiny room is empty, save for a large goblet, brimming with a clear, colorless liquid. Hesitantly, you take a sip, when you realize it is fresh, cool water. You take several sizable gulps. You pause for a second and notice the goblet is just as full as when you first discovered it. Being careful not to drop the glass, you climb down from the steeple. Quite a bit of water spills on the way, but the goblet remains full. You rush outside to show Brother Mitchell and find the entire village gathered around him. "Look what I discovered," you shouted. You pass the goblet among the puzzled villagers. They each take a sip and marvel at the endless supply of water. Brother Mitchell shakes his head with disbelief. "My grandmother's great-grandmother told her a saint had blessed our village with a secret treasure," he tells you. "All of my life I've tried to figure out what it was. You found it." Before you know what is happening, you find yourself on the shoulders of your friends and neighbors. The crowd cheers your cleverness and courage as they march toward their parched fields with the magic goblet. The end. That's a nice end. And you did it in front of the whole village, so they don't think you're crazy.
Yeah, you didn't jump out after summoning... jump off the steeple after summoning the entire...
After summoning a bat. Jesus Christ.
No, just summoning a bunch of, the whole village, just so they can watch you fall, you know?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that ending, no, the bell ending, where you fall in front of the entire village is like one that stuck in my head. Like, it's just like...
Especially, because the whole village is there. Oh my god. Alright, so now we have to go back pretty far. Pretty far. So, we went to the graveyard, and then our choice was either the hills or the church. So if instead we decide to go to the hills... We turn to page 5. You decide to climb the top of the highest hill. Once you wipe your brow, you look around, feeling a little perplexed. You remind yourself of the next line of the riddle. Watch which way the bat doth go. But there are no bats in sight. As you pace impatiently, wondering what to do, you come upon a cave opening near the top of the hill. You poke your head inside, but it's too dark to see anything. "Hello? Hello?" You call, but only your own voice echoes back. The cave seems like a perfect place to find a bat, and maybe even the sorceress as well. If you think it's best to watch for a bat before you do anything else, turn to page 24. If you enter the cave to look for a bat, Turn to page 33.
Let's look for a bat.
Let's
I
go.
mean, that
let's look for a little
that can't be
friend.
bad.
Yeah, a little friend. Page 33. The cave is so dark you can't see where you're walking. You grope along slowly. Suddenly you feel a stone wobble beneath your feet. You find yourself plunging through the blackness deep into the earth. 450 years later, a team of geologists discover your skeleton. They spend several days trying to figure out what you were doing in such a deep chasm, but are unable to reach a conclusion.
That's another ending that has stuck with me for a long time.
How fucking embarrassing. You get discovered by a bunch of scientists who were like, what is with this fucking idiot?
whenever we finally decide to team up and write a interactive novel or book, we should definitely have some of those endings.
Oh my god. I just love how some archaeologists are like, what is this fucking idiot doing here? Alright, so our other option is to just chillax until a bat comes out. Sweat streams down your face as you wait by the cave. At sunset, you finally spot a bat zigzagging through the air. Instead of flying into the cave beside you, it soars to the side of the hill, where you follow it to a second cave. A second cave you haven't seen before. You shiver with excitement as you grope your way through the darkness, listening to the sound of beating wings. Suddenly, lightning streaks across your path, striking the ground just inches from your toes. Before you can get your breath, a second bolt flashes, followed immediately by yet another. Your heart is pounding with terror when you hear somebody mutter, "Magic Mother of Merlin, where's the thunder?" "Who's there?" you call nervously. Turn page 32. An enormous flash of lightning illuminates the cave, revealing a wizened old woman draped in purple velvet. "A visitor!" she exclaims, and the next thing you know, daylight has replaced the darkness. "Congratulations," she cackles. "It's been 261 years since anyone has been able to find me. I hope I didn't scare you. I was just practicing my storms. For the life of me, I can't get the thunder to work." You open your mouth to say hello, but instead of your voice, a deep rumble of thunder emerges from the back of your throat. Jesus. Oh, God. "There's the thunder," she shrieks gleefully. You are afraid to open your mouth again. "Don't be shy," says the sorceress warmly. "I want to know why you've come." Hesitantly, you part your lips a bit. No thunder roars, but you tell the sorceress about the tainted water in your village. She shakes her head. "Sorry to disappoint you, but I can't clean up that mess in your well. Water is not my domain. Never has been, never will be. Why, I can't even create rain to go with my lightning. Now thunder." Turn to page 26. You are undaunted. "What about unicorns? Do you know anything about them?" you ask the sorceress. "I've heard they can purify..."
Yeah, I heard that, like, they're pure raw white, and they have a rainbow mane, and, like, they have that horn that they use to gore little children and like, kind of tenderize them before they eat them. They do have red staining around the mouth, though. You do have to watch out about that. You can tell the ones that eat meat by the red around their mouth.
But unicorns are supposed to only kill non-virgins, so it feels like children should be safe.
Well, that's... I was about to make a real dark joke
there.
Oh, no! I'm gonna cut it out. Yeah, that's why they got mostly choir boys from the local... the local Catholic church.
I knew it was gonna be something like that. I can't wait. Okay.
Because, like, okay, think about this, though. So, things with horns grew them for a weapon or for self-defense.
Yes.
Basically to warn things, don't fuck with me or I'm going to gore you.
Yes.
What the fuck was horses fighting?
Other horses?
That they would need a horse, but, like...
Other horses.
Then why didn't all the horses get it?
I don't know.
I feel like they were fighting something bigger.
Some horses
why would you need... Why would you need a 2.5 foot long horn that could like stab through a small child, maybe 2 or 3 of them.
Maybe other horses are better at fist fighting.
Oh, did you see what horses were like before they became horses? Like they look like gorillas with horse.
Yeah.
Heads.
Yeah.
That's probably what they were fighting, actually.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, like dolphins used to look like wolves.
Yeah.
They were terrestrial predators before they were aquatic ones.
Yeah.
Terrifying. Okay, anyways. Do you know anything about them? You asked the sorceress. I've heard they can purify water. The words have barely left your lips when you see a handsome unicorn stepping lightly around the cave. You reach out to stroke its flank, but the unicorn vanishes abruptly. Just an illusion, the sorceress explains. It's as close as I can come to creating a real unicorn, but it's no good for cleaning water. Have you ever seen a real unicorn, you ask? Several times, she replies casually. There's a unicorn living right here in the forest. Can you tell me where to find it in the forest? She shakes her head. I'm afraid not, but I should be able to help you some way or another. If you excuse me, I'm going to change into something more comfortable. I always think more clearly as wind. You watch with astonishment as she flings her purple robe over her shoulder and spins until it seems to be a lavender tornado. The next thing you know, the tornado fades, and a cold wind rushes around the cave, howling and shrieking. A violet cloud slowly forms, and from it the sorceress emerges. I've got it, she announces breathlessly. I can cast one of 2 spells that may help you find the unicorn. I can give you the power to speak with animals, or I can knit you a golden net for catching magical beasts. Take your pick. If you answer, I want to be able to talk with animals, turn to page 45. If you say, would you please make me the golden net, turn to page 49.
What was the first one again?
Talk to animals.
I mean, just like in Baldur's Gate 3, I will always make sure to cast
Speak with animals. Hell yeah.
So
I agree. So, page 45. Even if you can't find the unicorn, you'll have fun talking... Even if you can't find the unicorn, you'll have fun talking with other animals, says the sorceress. She scoops a handful of brown flakes from a basket. What is that? Ears and tongues from 12 creatures, she explains. You look away with disgust as she puts the flakes in a bowl and crushes them into a powder. Ready? The sorceress carefully spoons the powder into each of your ears. Open your mouth now, don't worry, this will dissolve and you won't taste it at all. She places a dab under your tongue. You can barely tell it's there. How do I know it works? Go ahead, try it, she suggests. Call my bat. Bat! Hey, bat! You shout, feeling a little silly. Within seconds, the creature flutters towards you and squeaks, You called? Please lead me to the forest. You thank the sorceress and follow the bat out of the cave, through the hills to the edge of the moonlit forest. There you say goodbye to the bat. Hearing a rustling in the branches above, you call, Hello? An owl swoops out of the darkness, startling you, as it lands on your shoulder. You must be a friend of the sorceress, it hoots. Yes, I am. The well in my village is tainted, so I'm looking for a unicorn to clean the water. You'll have to decide whether you just want the horn or the unicorn itself, says the owl. Why? This afternoon, a warlock cut off the horn of the only unicorn I know. I'm not sure how magical the unicorn is without it, but I'm willing to bet the horn hasn't made the warlock any less wicked. That demon isn't going to be eager to lend you his new treasure. I can lead you to either, but neither one may be useful. If you answer, please take me to the unicorn, turn to page 55. If you are determined to get the magic horn from the warlock, turn to page 56.
I mean, is it just the horn that's magical?
Maybe. That's the problem. We don't know.
It's like, if it's just the horn that's magical, then can you just, like, put it on a regular person and then become magical? Could, like, I just go up and, like, just, like, super glue the horn to you and then all of a sudden you can purify water?
Dang. That would be nice.
I mean, without a horn, it's just a horse, and I'm not a big fan of horses. But at the same time, like, I feel like I should be like a good person, quote unquote.
I mean,
save the horse.
It's up to you.
Let's save the horse, and
you want to go to the unicorn?
Yeah, let's go to the unicorn and see what's up.
Okay. The owl flaps. To the unicorn! You hurry after the owl, stumbling on roots and thrashing through brambles. Slow down, you call. I can't see in the dark as well as you. Human beings, hoots the owl scornfully. Why don't you sleep now? And we'll go to the unicorn in the morning. Good idea, you reply. You curl up at the foot of an oak tree and soon drift into a deep and dreamless sleep. When you awake the next morning, the owl is perched on your shoulder. I'm so glad you suggested I rest, you say as you stretch your arms. I feel great. Good! Now let's get going. You can eat some berries along the way. Page 22. The two of you make your way through the sun-streaked forest. Even though you know the unicorn has lost its horn, you feel certain you'll find a way to clean the well. Maybe the unicorn could tell me where to find another unicorn, one that still has its horn. You chatter happily. I bet the unicorn must know all kinds of way to clean the water. You soon reach a small clearing. There, a crowd of woodland animals are gathered around a unicorn who is laying on the ground. Oh, no, moans the owl. What's wrong, you ask? Is the unicorn sleeping? I don't mind waiting. The animals turn and stare at you. It's too late, says the squirrel. The unicorn is dead. The end. That's depressing. It's really sad.
Yeah, a little.
All right.
I mean, I guess find the horn?
I guess. Yeah. So if we go after the warlock instead... It's the magic horn I need, not the rest of the unicorn, you tell the owl. I want to meet the warlock. Follow me! The owl leads you along a dry stream bed, where the water flowed before the drought. After walking a few miles, you spot the flickering of a campfire. Squinting your eyes, you can just make out a small figure dancing around the flames. Is that the warlock? Lower your voice, scolds the owl. He has extraordinary hearing and the sharpest of eyes. When you are finally close enough, you get a good look. A tight knot of panic forms in your stomach. The warlock's eyes glow red in the darkness, and his gleeful howls strike terror in your heart. Well, I guess I'll have to ask if he'll lend me the unicorn horn, you whisper to the owl. How many times do I have to tell you? He isn't a kind-hearted soul. He has no heart at all. He's not much taller than me. Maybe I can sneak up on him and wrestle him to the ground. maybe I could just fucking suplex him.
Maybe
I could just give
love the gall. Okay. This book, I'm not joking. This book has the choices that I feel like the reader would want to make.
This fucking pro tag has no chill.
First off, this pro tag has no chill. I love it. Second off, it's just like, I don't know, that's a little fucking manlet over there. I would like not even a full grown girl, and like I could probably wrestle him.
Manlet. He's like what, 5'4"? I could take him.
Act like, get close enough to him, sucker punch him in the gut. Like, what's he gonna do? Cast a spell when he has no wind in his
that's a good point.
No breath. And when he's bent over, take his stuff and kick him again. And then leave.
That's actually a really good point.
Like, wizards are cool until you punch them in the stomach.
Yeah, they are famously physically weak. Famously. Alright, anyway. Maybe I can sneak up on him and wrestle him to the ground, you suggest, and then I can grab the horn and run away before you can stand up. You sound more confident than you really feel. Are you sure? The warlock won't hesitate to use magic to win battle, warns the owl. If you decide to reason with the warlock, turn to page 72. If you think you are strong enough to overpower the warlock, turn to page 83. Do we want to wrestle this manlet?
Yeah, let's wrestle this fucking manlet. Let's go.
Oh my god, sorry, the first line of this page is so good. I'm going to fight him, you tell the owl.
Yeah.
It's the only way I'll ever get the unicorn horn.
I love this. It's like,
this teenage girl is fucking terrifying.
I love it. I love this. This is the best pro tag.
Oh, she does not give a fuck. She's like, yeah, I'll climb to the steeple. Yeah, I'll jump and grab this rope. Yeah, I'll wrestle this warlock to the ground and take a shit. Oh my god. You creep closer to the whirling warlock, and then you duck behind a tree, peering cautiously around the trunk. You spot the unicorn horn beside the warlock's dancing feet. With more strength than you knew you possessed, you hurl yourself on the warlock's back. He stumbles, nearly falling to the ground, but quickly regains his balance and flips you over his head. You crash to the ground. The warlock roughly yanks you up again, gripping your arm tightly. He stares into your eyes. The next thing you know, you are dancing feverishly, mesmerized by the fire in his red eyes. The warlock blinks slowly a few times, and you find yourself growing very sleepy. You can barely keep your eyes open, let alone continue dancing. Overwhelmed by slumber, you are conscious only of the warlock's whisper in your ear. Sleep well, foolish urchin. You have 500 years to dream. The end.
God, I just love the beginning. It's like,
I'm going to fight him.
Oh god, I love it. It's just like this pro tag really has like 5'3" girl energy. Like just like ooh. Just really just out the back, like writing check she cannot cash.
I
know, but I love it.
All right. So if instead we decide to reason with the manlet, probably by not mentioning his height at all, I'll ask the warlock to lend me the unicorn horn. You announce, although you try to sound casual. Your hands are trembling. Good luck, says the owl. I'll wait here. You walk closer to the campfire before calling. Hello? The warlock abruptly stops dancing. As he strides towards you, his glowing eyes are fixed on Marie Claire's talisman. You slowly extend both hands, palms up, to show you have no weapons. The warlock studies you warily, then shakes your hand. You try not to shudder as his hot, blistered hand touches yours. After describing the danger facing your village, you ask if he would lend you his unicorn horn. The warlock laughs sourly. Between the world of angels and the land of demons, there is no one who will ever touch my unicorn horn. Banish that idea from your mind immediately. But a sly grin crosses the warlock's face. For a certain price, I could concoct a potion that will clean your well. I have no money. It's not money I want. The warlock stares intently at the pendant hanging from your neck. Where did you get that? From my friend, Marie Claire. Give it to me, and I'll mix the potion for you. Turn page 81. You hesitate, but Marie Claire's words, use it as you need it, echo in your mind. You unclasp the charm and give it to the warlock. He returns to his campsite and begins mixing the potion in a goatskin flask. He finally hands it to you and says, pour this in your well tomorrow night, before the moon rises. By the time the moon sets, your water will be pure. Thank you. You hurry back to the owl and gleefully shout, let's go! I'm going to save my village! And you do. The end.
Okay, so, going after the wizard, in any way is bad. Okay. The sorcerer.
We apparently cannot wrestle a manlet. It's just not in us.
Okay, so, well, you know, we're getting to the end, I think, to this episode. We can do you have it in you to do another episode, or do you want to wait? Well, we can just do another,
this one is already pretty long. Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
we're pretty much going back to the beginning, where we would choose to either go to the graveyard or to the leopard camp.
Okay, well, let's end this one.
Okay. Well, this has been Turn to Your Doom! And remember, folks, if you can't wrestle the manlet, he can probably be reasoned with. Probably.
Bye.
Bye.